is more of a jazz bass with flat wound strings, and between those two basses, I did most of the stuff. And then I have a short jazz bass that just got built for me that I have flat strings on, and I use that too. I didn't think I would, but it ended up sounding so good that I used that on. You can hear that bass on Adolescence, actually, the little shorty, little 30-inch one.
Okay, Jeff, hopefully that answers your question there. Let me see if I can find another one here. We're going to probably take a little Skype call here in a second. Here's an interesting question here for you, Ben. We touched on it earlier in our little high school session. Anki Endikara in Jakarta, I apologize if I pronounced that incorrectly, says, Ben, tell us exactly how you felt when you were asked to join the band. Were you a fan of Incubus before, and had you really listened to the band before joining?
I was a fan. I was a fan after Morning View. That was when I got into Incubus as a listener. I'd met the guys that year. I met them right before the record came out, and we'd spent a lot of time together when the Roots toured with them. So as soon as that record came out, I went and got it and did my research and was like, let me check out my friends. And that's my favorite record before I was in the band, that's for sure. And how did I feel? Well, it was weird because I just with the Roots, we had just released Phrenology, and we had just finished doing some U.S. tour stuff. So it was kind of a scary thing. I felt like, okay, this could be good, this could work. I could see myself playing in this band and enjoying it, and I like what they do, but I also am walking away from playing in a band that I enjoy playing with, and that was scary. It was kind of terrifying to just jump ship and join the other band. But I talked to the guys in the Roots, and they actually supported me very strongly. Like Tariq and Amir, Black Thought and Questlove were into it, and they gave me support, so I felt, okay, I'm ready to do this.
One of our good friends, frequent chat room asked two or three questions, so we'll ask him there. Some of these are pretty short and sweet. Ben, I know you take a lot of pictures on the road,
yeah.
You and a lot of the guys, but what is your favorite camera to take pictures on the road with?
I got a new one. I got this camera. It's a Fuji 6 by 4.5. So it's a medium format camera, and it's a film camera, and film is expensive and it's a pain in the ass, but this is my favorite camera right now because it takes big old negatives like that, and the negatives are so big that after you get your film processed, you can hold up the negative and see all the detail in it, and that's kind of my number one camera. I'm definitely going to take a lot of pictures on this tour, and I'm going to try to update my website and get them where you guys can see them because it's fun for me.
Okay. All right, so, we'll come back to Macy's. We're going to try to get a Skype now, so noise here. We're going to I believe Liverpool, England. Isn't that a band from Liverpool, England? City it is here.
Good rock quartets.
Good rock. Are you there, Jennifer? Camera on?
Jenny.
Can you?
While we're waiting for Jen, let me ask another question, Ben. Macy bring us out of that. If you had to choose just one album to hear for the rest of your life, what would you choose?
It would be The Awakening by Ahmad Jamal. If you don't know it, it's a record by a jazz pianist in 1970, trio, and it's some of the deepest, most thought out, most involved music that I listen to, and I can listen to this record in any mood, and it is right there with me. And I've been listening to it for probably 15 years now, listening to the same record, and I still discover new things in it. So it's The Awakening by Ahmad Jamal. Can't hear me?
We can't hear Ben. Okay, we got to move that.
Can you hear me now?
We're not able to get her on Skype, so Joe, pick somebody else. Not hearing it from here. Sky from Lexington, Kentucky.
Sky.
What a great name. Remember Sky Saxon from the Seeds? Is that before your time?
It's a little.
You pushing too high? All right, well. I'm not a big music guy, but he had a fun name, Sky Saxon. Anyway, Sky from Lexington, Kentucky asks, what are some of your favorite bands and musical artists? Does any group of artists influence you most? And what are your favorite Incubus songs to play?
My favorite bands. I have a lot of favorite bands. Here's what I'm going to do. Check this
Pulling
out.
out the iPod?
I'm going to pull out. I got music on my phone. I'll tell you what's on my phone right now, because that's a good indicator where my head is at. I have Van Halen.
Which Van Halen song do you have?
I have 1984, the whole album. I have Abbey Road by the Beatles. I have Nat King Cole. I have the Cro-Mags, a hardcore band. I have a band from Boston called Cave In, which is really good. I have some Cameo, this R&B group from the 80s. I have the Orpheus Chamber Orchestra, which is pretty cool. A band called Karate, which is like a little indie band from Boston. They're sweet. I got the Charlie Brown Christmas record, which I listen to, even though it's not Christmas. I don't care. I have a record by the rap group Smith & Wesson. I got like 5 Slayer records, Diamond Eyes by the Deftones, Drums and Wires by XTC, Fantastic Planet by Failure, Fragile by Yes.
Fragile by Yes?
Oh, I love Yes. I love Yes, man. Yes is, oh, man. I have that Ahmad Jamal record I mentioned before. Midnight Oil, Head Injuries, Midnight Oil. Midnight Oil is probably my favorite rock band of all time.
Midnight Oil?
Yeah, I saw him in 2002 in Philly.
Is that the tallest lead singer you've ever seen in a
Oh,
band in your life?
he's terrifying.
And
Just
bald, taller than bald.
yeah. Well, that's
Taller
how.
than bald. I don't know.
But yeah, it keeps going on for a while until the last thing that you bump into is another Slayer record. So lots of Slayer on there.
Lots of Slayer on it. I'm always amazed at the Slayer connection there. Okay, all the way back to Dubai. We were talking about Dubai earlier today at this local high school that Ben was kind enough to join me in Career Day. That was kind of fun this morning, wasn't it?
It was. I went to Beverly Hills High School. Like, I remember they used to have the show 90210 on TV when I was a kid, and I never thought that I would be in Beverly Hills High School talking about stuff.
And there is actually a Beverly Hills 90210. There's some good kids there. My 2 sons go there, and I actually went to Beverly Hills High School, strangely enough, many years ago. Anyway, V-Rap from Dubai asked, what other media outside of music, such as books and movies, have inspired you in your work, if any?
There's movies are a good one, because movies, you don't have to do a lot of work to enjoy a good movie. It just kind of does it for you. There's lots of movies that I've watched and I just freak out afterwards, just feeling emotional and excited and wanting to create. I remember I saw Gandhi a couple years ago, maybe like a decade ago, and after I saw Gandhi, I just wanted to write music. I don't even know why. It just freaked me out. I was into it. And books, there's certain books. I'm a very selective reader. It's hard for me to find a book that really draws me in, but I really like my favorite book is The Fountainhead by Ayn Rand, and there's other books that I like to read. I like Forrest Griffin, the UFC fighter. He's got some books that I read that are cool. They're funny, so.
All right, good question there, B-Rap. Okay, we're going to try to do a Skype phone call here. And let's see if we can get this. We're calling Julio, who I believe is from Chile. Here he is. Okay, Julio, it's awfully dark. You need to turn on a light.
This better not be some chat roulette stuff where you pull out your funny junk.
There you go. Can you turn on the light, Julio? We can barely hear you and see you. Can we hear him? I don't hear Julio. Can anybody hear Julio?
Hello? Can you hear me? You hear me? Ren? Ren? Hello?
Julio, we're good. I just didn't have my speaker on here, so now I'm unplugged this so quick.
I cannot bring more light here. It's all I got. I'm sorry. It's kind of late here.
Okay, so I'm going to turn you down here. Everybody can hear us okay? Okay, Julio, you're on with Ben and Kenney. Awfully dark.
I don't hear you well. Can you hear me? I mean,
Yeah, we can hear you.
We just can't see you. You look like the shadow. Anyway, what's your question for Ben, Julio?
No, I can't hear. I'm see the half of myself in the camera, but
Hey, Julio, stop watching yourself now. We can see you. You're very handsome. Yes, can you hear us?
sometimes I hear you like good enough. But anyway, hello Ben. I'm a really huge fan for you. I'm so sorry about the lights and stuff.
Don't
No
worry about
worries.
it.
Right.
Go ahead and ask your question, Julio.
Oh, okay. I wanted to know how your influence gets into the band. I mean, the band surely changed when you came up to them, but that was good to me. I mean, the band really evolves with you, and I want to know if you take really part about and in the creative part of songs. I mean, you know.
The band. Thank you for the question first, Julio. The band is kind of, it's five people coming together to make one thing. So whenever you change one of those things, everything shifts a little bit. Like the sound changed when I joined the band. That's definitely true. But some people that hate it, that don't like the sound, they're like, oh, Ben Kenney ruined Incubus. And people that love it are like, oh, Ben Kenney made Incubus awesome. And the truth of the matter is that all of the guys in the band work together, and we all make moves together. So since I joined the band, I just joined something that was already in motion, already becoming something else. I think regardless of if I would have joined the band or not, the sound would have changed. The guys wanted a new sound. They wanted to move in a different direction. And I was just